Hi, this is Marina from Frocks Frolics, and I'm going to show you how to put the sleeve into the cool shirt here. It's part of a whole series, of course. For most sleeves, you will have a marking for the front and the back, and I always mark my front really big so you can't get it wrong. Make sure that you line up the front with the front, and then you can pin it around, and I have got markings in every point of the sleeve so that if you snipped the shirt and you snipped your sleeve, you don't even need to pin it. And that's what I'm going to show you now. We're going to do this actually without pinning it. We're starting on one side here, and I'm just going to show you on this side. I'm starting at the back here. I'm just going to put one pin in, and then I go to my sewing machine and start sewing. And it's much easier when you have the snips. Not all the patterns have them. Usually they have them just where the shoulder is, and then they have one for the front and the back. But in this case, I actually put the markings on, so that's really great. So if you don't have this pattern yet, you can get it at frocksandfrolics.com, and the links for that are in the description, so you can make this beautiful shirt. It's only a very short video here showing you how to do the sleeve and how to finish it off. And if you want to see the whole series, then of course you can do that, and I will show you absolutely everything for it. And now I just overlock it, and then I'm going to iron the whole lot towards the sleeve. That's the best way to do it. And then if you like afterwards, you could top stitch that, but I'm just going to press my sleeve here from the right side of the fabric, from the upper side, and also from the inside, and you can see how lovely that sits. And anything you held in here doesn't look like there's anything to be held in, and if you had the seam allowance going to the inside like I was just holding here, it doesn't look as nice. And I'm going to show you how to do a really lovely 50s style turn up here. Very easy to do. All you need to have is a facing. If you're doing it for another shirt, not my pattern where it's not included, you can draw a facing really easily yourself. For us, we want to turn up the longer side by 1 centimeter. If it's slightly under, it doesn't really matter. It's just that it's turned in. It makes it easier to work. And then we're going to close that side seam here with a 1 centimeter seam allowance, just straight over, straight across. Line up the edges. Don't forget to lock in your stitches on either side. And then you could iron it apart, or if you haven't got a sleeve ironing board, mine broke and a new one hadn't arrived yet, then I'm just going to put it on and pin it into place. The right sides are facing each other here, and I'm just stretching it across and then pinning it all the way around. Now then, you need to turn the sleeve to the other side so that the pins always lie on the inside. And then we are going to sew all the way around. Again, we have a 1 centimeter seam allowance. It's very simple. And you could start anywhere on there, so there's no rules to that. And then you could iron that seam apart again if you had a sleeve ironing board, because it's really tight, which I didn't have at the time, so I just do it with my fingers. So I roll out now my facing, and then I turn it in so that the seam has to lie to the outside, so it lies right in the crease. So I'm just rolling the fabric between my fingers until it sits in the top edge, and then I can pin it. And you could, of course, after you've done that, also press it. With this fabric, it worked so well, I did not need to press anything here. But with some fabrics that are a bit more, smooth, that might move a bit more, you might want to also press this once you've pinned it. Pin it all the way around. moving out all the seams into the right edge here. And then I stitch all the way around. Again, I need to turn the sleeve so that the pins are on the inside. Always a very good trick, makes it so much easier to sew. And if your machine transports well enough, please start on the underarm seam so it's not visible later, and we're sewing all the way around. You want to sew very close to the edge, and stitch length 2.5 or 3, that's fine, all the way around. And again, don't forget to lock in your stitches for this beautiful little 50s James Dean alike turn up. Really like this one. It's very simple, and I was shown this I think about 20 years ago by one of my employees when I had a bridal shop, and I thought, oh my goodness, I never knew this. And I've been doing it ever since. Then you turn it over again, and I'm leaving 1 centimeter standing, but you don't necessarily have to do that. You could go all the way to the edge. I personally think that this looks really, really nice. So you could, I'll quickly show you here, you could fold it all the way. That's also possible, but it's a bit wider, so it depends on what you want to do. I like the smaller version, and then we're going to stitch in the ditch on the underarm seam to hold it all in place. But first of all, I'm going to iron it all the way around. So once this is all ironed, I'm just going to quickly show you where we're going to stitch in the ditch, right in the seam. It's very simple. Right here, so just make sure it's right on the underarm seam and force it under the machine. Make sure, of course, you're not catching anything underneath, and go backwards and forwards a few times.